that ended up not working. Hey guys, I'm back. I promised myself I'm gonna be doing like lots of lives. Now that I'm back, lives about stretching, lives when you talk about life. And I wanted to make story time because I love telling stories. And right now I'm just like doing something, getting done with it, and it's boring. So I was like, let me jump on the live and just like tell you guys a story. Story time. What I know. And you guys can tell me what you think later on in the comments. So I'm going to be bringing stories. And we are going to have story time every night. I bring the stories that I know and I tell you guys. I was also thinking about like all life stories. I thought life stories could only be in the lives because all the videos are just going to have, most of the videos are just going to have working out, stretching, what else? Working out, stretching, and I just uploaded a stretch actually. You guys should go and check it out as I write. I was uploading it. I didn't even make edits this time. Like I didn't want to make any edits. I was trying out a certain app on my phone that can help with the live streams, and I don't think it worked. Like it just gave me it showed that I'll be live in about 55 minutes. I think it was 60 minutes when it was starting, like in about an hour. Whew. And I didn't set that, so it didn't work. It didn't work. I don't know how to do it. So I am writing certain things and I came here to just like pop up and we can have story time. What do you guys think? Should I start actually tell stories every night? Because I'm building this platform, growing, stretching again, and talking about God. But story time, because I love stories and I wanted to tell you guys stories. But there is an app I had just downloaded and thought it was going to help with the live streams, and it didn't help with the live streams. It didn't help. It just didn't help. So I'm preparing myself for bed. And I said I should be coming around and I should be telling stories. Who's excited about today's story? So they're going to be a series. I have so many series. Hi. Oh, tell you what, I haven't even showered. I look crazy. But thank you. Hi, everybody. So it's story time. Who's excited about my story? Story start today. So it's going to be a series of things on this platform. There's going to be a series of stretching, and that's what is going to be showing up and popping up on the videos every day. Only when I am extremely busy. That's the only time I am not going to post a stretching video. But we are going to take our workout seriously this year. New year, new earth, new body, big. We are working legs, working thighs, working back, pelvic. We are just going to be like, I'm just going to be posting like working out videos. So if you don't have a gym membership, you're still going to be with me. I'm tired too. So today's story time. Did you see the title? It talks about witchcraft and what happened where I grew up and what happened to these young friends of mine that I knew. And what actually witchcraft can do to your family and to your neighbors and to your neighbors, to your schools, like the damage it can actually bring. Just telling people so that they know like what they're doing is not good. When you do what you do thinking you're helping or you're trying to make a change or you're trying to show power, but then it affects others and it mostly affects the innocent. So the title obviously is Witchcraft and the Children It Killed. That's today's story. I'm going to be telling stories every single day on the lives here, and the only times I won't be telling stories is when like I'm so exhausted. But I'm just going to keep coming here. Hi. How you guys doing? Subscribe. Please subscribe. And when you go in the videos, don't hate what is, accept everything that is coming. Take what you can take, but mostly take everything. So today's story time. Let's get into it. As I walk here, just like writing notes and doing things that I'm supposed to do. So, once upon a time, there was a village where I grew from. There were slums. We were poor. It's a poor village, a poor place. But it was the joy of many of us because that's what we knew. That was our childhood. And we loved everyone around it. Though it was a challenging childhood, it was crazy. You know, I wish, like, I'm trying to actually work on that. I am working so hard on investing, but I don't have what to invest right now. But I would really love to invest. So, that place, that small village, and there were two families that were our neighbors. Hi, first time here. Hi, nice to meet you. If you guys knew this channel was growing so fast, it was getting so big, but there was a change and all the yoga videos were removed. So we are starting afresh. But we are going to have a series of so many things. A series of workouts, a series of stretching every single day for 30 to 40 minutes or even an hour for the lives, and then a series of stories. So people who love stories and want to know, want to see how the world is, you want to compare to what you're going through. Yes, we are going to be doing this here. I'm doing great. How are you doing? What do you guys think about that? So you check out the playlists and see what works for you. So now I'm gonna concentrate. I'll be coming back saying like hi and all that. So this village had two neighbors, and those two neighbors, the first neighbor had, I think there was, yeah, she had children who were grown. They were older. They were in secondary. I don't know what you call high school here. Their kids were in high school. And then this other family, it was a man, he was a fisherman, and he had 3 kids, but they're all in elementary, what you call elementary here. They were like, the youngest they had, the woman was pregnant. That is the baby. So that was the youngest, the baby who was soon to be born to this family. So a time comes and both of them were not renting. They had like this small plot of land and it was their land, but it was separating them. Everyone had their own house. So the family of these grown kids had a certain part where they built a house, and then this other family also had their own house on a different side, but the land is the same, like the land joins them, like that. The land joins them, but there was just a small plot of land that everyone was fighting for. So these two families were fighting for that small plot of land that had remained. And they were all not Christian. They didn't know God. They did not have the fear of God in them. But the worst part is that they didn't even have a good heart, because there are people who are not yet saved, but their heart is pure. There are people who have like a kind heart, a loving heart. But for them, they were all greedy. But the children were innocent. So what happened is that they started fighting for that small plot of land. And one day, the family of the fisherman, he was working at work, and he could work till late in the night, and he could come back home at like 12 a.m. the next day. And what happened is that this other family, this woman, dealt in witchcraft. She was a witch, and she did witchcraft all her life. Like, to get anything, she thought of witchcraft. To get a job, she thought of witchcraft. To the kids to be smart in school, she did witchcraft. Like, that was her life, and she was not hiding it. So hi. Yeah, but that's why it's story time. We do story time. Let story time. So you can also like tell your stories like in the comments, like when I get off, you can tell me about you. But story time started today. Today is the genesis of story time series. So this is our first episode of the story time. It's called Witchcraft and the Children It Killed. So yeah, that's good. That's good, because then we'll be telling stories and people will learn from them. Okay, I'm telling all the stories I've had encounters in my whole life. So this family that is fighting, the family of the fisherman, comes one day. This woman said, okay, we shall see. That's the only thing she said. I am a girl. I am a girl. So came this time, and she told the fisherman, she said, we shall see, because she was a witch. But then this man also was not saved. He was not like a born again, and he was not a Christian. And the woman too was just a normal, person. Does not believe in God, doesn't know anything. She's just, like how people be like. So that time the fisherman comes late in the night, but he sends fish home for the children to eat before they sleep. And one thing you don't know about Africa, like where I grew up from the slums, like you do not have your apartment. So let me put this picture there for you to understand. You live in a one-room kind of house, and that's where the bedroom, it has no bedroom, it has nothing. But like there are people who had like a little bedroom, like that's like a little bit expensive. But where I grew up, like it's one room and it's like next to each other. So these people were just were close to each other. And the family of the fishermen in Africa, like where I grew up myself, we cook from outside, what we call a veranda. I don't know if like you know what they call a veranda, but I can search it here and I'll show you something. So it's something more like, I'll show you soon. That's the street. That's word. I'll show you something. I'll show you where I grew from. I'll show you. Exactly. So this is where I grew up from. I don't know if like you guys can see it. Do you see that? Do you see the houses? Yeah, I'm from Africa. I am in the US, but that's where I come from. And as a child, I grew exactly like that. You cook from outside. You see, that's what we call a veranda, like what you see up here. And that's where you cook from outside. So you're not safe. So, good. You could always like pause the video and go back. So I'm showing you my life. That's my life. I don't hide anything. But God has been faithful that I am somewhere that I am right now. And I'm grateful to God for it. So, this woman, the family of the fisherman, they were cooking from outside. This woman was cooking food for the children, but the dad, who is arguing with this witch, comes back late in the night after he has eaten, so he could barely eat from home. So the kids, the mom cooked the fish, and in the process of the mom cooking the fish, what happened is that this woman, who was a witch, came and brought poison with her, and she poisoned the food. Like, she poured poison in the food that they were cooking outside, and the woman didn't know she was inside. They didn't see her. And you know, when the devil is using people, like, there is a way you can't even see, unless if you're prayerful. That's the only way like God can help you. But there are people, they're born again, to have fallen victim to things like that. So this woman cooks food and they start eating with the children. She had 3 children and she was pregnant. And the man comes back late in the night. So what happened is that they started eating food. They ate. The youngest ate a lot. The one in the middle was picky with fish. He hated fish. So he ate very little. Very little. The mother ate a lot of food. The mother ate a lot. And then the oldest child also ate a lot. And the dad did not eat. The dad was at work. So time passed and poison started working in the kids. And the children started feeling unwell. But when the child started crying that my stomach hurts, mama, my stomach hurts, mama, it hurts so bad. Mama was like, what is wrong? No, like what? Why? Why, sister? He was like, lay down, lay down. And the kid was like, but I don't feel good. And the woman started feeling unwell too. So when the mother started feeling unwell, the woman realized there is something wrong. It's not the fish. Something is up. So she started calling out to the neighbor, not the witch, of course, one of her friends, and she's like, we ate food, but I don't feel good. And the kids are also crying that they don't feel good, they don't feel amazing. And she was like, what did you eat? She was like, fish. As they were speaking, the child who ate a lot the eldest, he started to sweat so bad. He started to have seizures, and they called for a car to come. They called for the dad from work, so the dad came running and running and running so hard, came and then reached the children, and he's like, "Oh no, what's going on? What happened? What happened?" And he's like, "We ate food and we don't feel good. The kid is not feeling well." So because of the child that did not eat a lot, he wasn't in a terrible state, the youngest. So they left the youngest at home, and they took the eldest, who had eaten a lot, and the mom to the hospital. Very sick. The mom started getting violently ill too. So when they reached in the hospital, the child died immediately. The child died. And as soon as the child died, the doctors confirmed what was going on. The doctor said, "Your family was poisoned." And he knew immediately, because he knew who the enemy was, and they're the only person who could do that. So after the firstborn died, the mom lost the child. The mom lost the baby. When the mom lost the baby, the mom was also in a terrible state that she did not even bury her children. So the baby at home that they left at home, so the middle child was in the hospital, but the first child had died, and the middle child had not yet died. Then the baby had also died. They had lost the baby, and the mom was in a critical condition. And then the child at home, they forgot about, because they thought the child was okay, because he's the only person who acted okay. And the mom, before she got ill, she was like, "That one did not eat." But the truth is that she was confused. They ate, but they ate very late. So because they left him at home, and like it took hours to be in the hospital, they came back and the baby was dead too. Yes, it's a true story. Like where I come from, like these kids are the kids like we were growing up with, but they couldn't make it because of witchcraft and people having like bad hearts. So by the time they reached the last child at home, he was dead too. The man fainted, and they took him to the hospital, but he came up because he just fainted. He wasn't sick, but he was in shock of what was happening to him and his family. But luckily, God saved the mom, and he saved the middle child. They're the only people that came out of the hospital alive, but the mom took a long time to heal. So the man had to go and bury the firstborn and the child at home. And the middle child was okay now, like getting better, of course not better. So he went to bury the children. But listen, he also said, "Whoever did this to my family is going to get it too." So what he did witchcraft on the body of the children. He asked for witchcraft at his home, and he buried the bodies with witchcraft. When he buried the bodies with witchcraft, give me a second. He buried the bodies with witchcraft. And what happened is that this woman has children that are in high school. Then all the two, I think he had he had one son, and then he had one daughter who was on university. She was on her last year of university, and then the boy and the other girl, they were in high school, but they were drunkards. Like they could drink, they could smoke. They were not they didn't show a sign of becoming great. So the only one who was actually she was starting to be a doctor, and she was in her last year to graduate. She was the pride of the family. She was this woman's heart. When the man did witchcraft, it came directly to the child who was in the university. Whew. Child. The girl started getting sick. She says she was at school, and then she started having, it was only her left eye. It started hurting. And she was like, why is my eye hurting? It started hurting and it started hurting. Her body is fine. Everything is fine. It's just her eye. So they brought her back from the university to their home. And the mom did not think it was witchcraft, yet she was a witch. She didn't think of the outcomes of what she did. But this is what I'm telling you, that the innocent suffer mostly, but still you suffer your pain that you put people into. So this child started getting sick. They took her to every hospital. They said they see nothing. We don't see anything. We don't see anything. She's crying. She's crying. She's weeping. The doctors are saying we don't see anything. We don't know what's wrong. We don't know what's happening. Then she realizes that he did something, because she went to the witch doctors, like the higher powers that she was serving, and they told her he did something. You have to go to him to undo it if you want the child to survive. She's a witch. She's scared to speak the truth, because when she goes to that man, she'll have to speak the truth of what happened. But because she wanted the daughter to survive, she went to him. She started begging, please, heal my child, undo whatever you did. Please, they don't deserve it. And this man said to her, do you think my children deserved it? Do you think the little babies you poisoned deserved it? Just because of a small plot of land, like the only small plot of land they had. Because she is a witch, she started going to witches and witches, to higher powers and higher powers, to see a difference. And whatever she did, the girl's condition just worsened. And this girl was my mom's closest friend. And I remember they took us there little. And then when this girl saw me, she was covering her eye because it had swelled up and it was hurting. And when she saw me, she said, Sherry, come to me. And I remember I was little, but she touched my hand. She was like, how are you? She was so down to earth. She was the nicest in the family. Ooh. So my mom spoke to her, and the woman spoke. She said, I was mad. I poisoned them, but I didn't think they were going to die. So she begs my mom, because my mom was a customer. She could buy fish. She was like a born again. She said, please pray for my daughter. My mom prayed. I saw people pray. And my mom said, when God spoke to her, she said, you have to apologize for what you did. You have to go to him and apologize. It doesn't matter whether, he goes back in the village and undo what he did. as long as you apologize, your child is going to be saved. But she's a witch. And what the devil does, he cannot allow you to apologize. Witches don't apologize. They can speak what they did if they're given a chance, but they can't apologize. So whatever it was, she refused. She said, I'm not apologizing. And my mom said, you're going to lose a child. She said, I'm not apologizing to him. He said, the man too said, even if he apologized, I cannot go and dig my kids out to remove the medicine I put on them, the herbs, the juju the people do. So, because she refused to do it, the child died. The girl finally died. And it didn't stop on that. It made the rest of the children nothing. So whatever he did, it brought bondage in her family. And they all lost children. And that's how all the children died. They both lost something precious. And we lost friends to play with. They were our playmates. But we were children. We didn't know what was going on. Like, this is what my mom tells me when we grew. And now I understand why and what happened to them. So, after time passed, and my mom asked her to get saved. Maybe the kids will get better. When she got saved and she apologizes for the things she did, even if there is nothing to do again, there was nothing to reverse. She could actually at least, somehow. So she refused. And you know what happened to her? The kids started doing drugs so bad and stealing, and they were getting beat up. And the grandmother, who was the witch's mom, was also a witch. They went to so many witches to kill this woman and the children. But the woman at that time, when she came back from the hospital, she gave her life to Christ. And that protected her and the child, the only child that she was left with. And what happened is that this woman, the witch, there is a sickness that came onto her, that they moved everywhere. They did everything. There is no medicine for it, and it's not a sickness because the doctors can't see it, but she has spent a long time in bed. She cannot walk. She cannot eat. She cannot talk. She cannot drink. But she is just there. Just there, like that. So, that was the story today. And what does that story teach us? That witchcraft is not a good thing. I actually have so many stories about witchcraft because I come from a family. I'll tell you about my background and at story time. So you guys can always leave in the comments what kind of stories that you want me to bring. So I come from a family where my grandfather had so many wives, had even concubines who were coming at home. He was rich. He was so wealthy, but he came from this family that's called Bachwezi. They're the spirits that Batoro, Manyankole, and the tribes of Africa, some of them, mostly I think the Westerns, worship if they are not saved and they are not of God. So I'll tell you that story too. So my mom comes from a family of so many children, but they died. When we used to go to my grandfather's home in the village, because every December we could gather as children, so that we get to know each other and we don't marry each other, because there were so many, so it was like a must to go there. But there were lots of grave, it was a big graveyard behind, and all that graveyard were his children, and he was still alive. He was still, so he buried so many children. But I'll tell you that other story. So today I was just telling you about that. Witchcraft is not good. So you guys, if like you be performing any witchcraft, like you need to stop, because it could actually endanger you. It could endanger your family. It could destroy lives. I can't tell you how many lives I have had that have gotten destroyed because of witchcraft. I mean, these little kids were killed because of a person who did not know God. She had like a rough heart. She had the strength to put poison to kill children just because like of a small plot of land. That's even, I think right now, I feel like they bought it, because like people used to come and like buy a certain place, and it's so huge and you have to move anyway. So she also lost a daughter. She also lost a very precious daughter, and I think that also brought more bondage to her and her family. It brought bondage to her children. They suffered. They've suffered. Like the last time I saw, my mom saw one of her, the girl that stayed, that was the only one that had remained. She was like, my heart broke for that girl. She was looking so bad. She saw her, and my elder sister is called Lydia. I come from a family of just 2 children, me and my sister, and we had a baby when my mom was pregnant, and because of witchcraft, the stepmom. Now stay tuned for more story times, because I am going to tell you these stories. Her stepmom, the wizard in the family, the woman who was turning into animals, and this is not a joke. These are not fairy tales. These things happen. People who go deep into the devil, they can turn, because she was serving the Latrazi. She could turn into things like, and the kids saw them and they could speak, and the times they spoke, because he had cast a spell on their dad, they could be beaten or thrown out of the lineage. So I'm gonna be telling you like all these stories. Like this is just episode 1. We are just like starting, and I'm just like trying to expose the things that are not good, so that like people learn from them and move away from them, and they see the dangers they cause, the pain they cause, and things like that. So what did you guys think about the story today? And which story do you want me to talk about? Why are you guys arguing? Do not argue. Hi everybody, go like my recent stretch video, go watch it, go stretch with me, go work out your body. So yeah, that was the story. And you guys, I don't know. I want you guys to tell me what you thought about the story. Go in the comment section and comment every single day. Story time is going to be told in, what's it called? Story time is only going to be in the lives every night. And why I put it in the night is because when I go to school, because I'm going back tomorrow, I can tell you guys later on in the evening for at least 30 minutes every day. Try to grow the platform so that we help other people realize that these things actually exist and they're not good. Yeah, like it happens. You guys need to get saved, because the only protection we have from this whole world is the protection of God. Because apart from that, there's no protection. We are not protected. We are not protected. So yeah, and that's why I wanted to jump out here and we can talk about it, all of it, all of it. Thank you. That's it. This is episode 1, guys. You share it so that people hear it. Those poor kids. Oh, and you can ask me a question and ask that, why would God let those kids, those innocent kids, die? Because God has given people free will, and because the family was not saved, so there was no protection in the house. Yeah, that's the only answer I can think of. And I've seen some, I've had stories like that, but that is particular what I saw myself, like the people actually at least knew about. Now that I'm growing up, their faces have faded, but for my elder sister, she remembers them more than I remember them because she was older than me. But me, their faces have faded away, but their story is still speaking for those out there that need change, that need a difference. Whew. Yeah. And the music, I use free music from YouTube. So if you guys like need free music to do your things on, like vlogging and things like that, he really has good music and it's all copyright free. He's called Liborio Conti. That's his channel. Let me show you guys his channel. I love his music. I should like work things, do things with it. You see it? So that is the life that I grew in. It was rough where I grew from. Like, we lived in one small house, and sometimes kids don't have no bed, they have no sheets to cover themselves, and that's why I'm trying to work hard so that I help those that I left behind. How did you rebuild your relationship with your husband during this new journey? He knew, but the thing is, I wasn't doing it for like in secret. It was open. I didn't lie about anything, so that's why I apologized and started afresh. But he knew, he was not excited about the YouTube videos being deleted. He was not at all. He was like, he was supportive. He was like, okay, you know, if it's okay, then yeah. That he was like, no, because it was bringing in money, it was helping, and it was like giving me something to focus on and be proud of, because I had deleted my channel twice and out of anger, and I had built it. This was the third time building from the scratch. So it's like, no, let it not be happening again. And I was like, today's not from anger, it's from the place of love. So stretching is back, but decent dress code. Ooh. And then story time. I feel like you guys gonna love my stories because they're real stories. They're not fantasies. So they are things to learn from, because we live a life. You guys come from places, you should actually comment down below if like you come from places where like you've seen these things happen. Some of you come from families where you lost even a sibling. I have my mom, she lost her sibling. My favorite aunt, their last born, was killed like that by her stepsisters on their brother's wedding day. She went for a wedding and she came back dead. So I am going to tell you that. I am going to tell you that story too about my aunt. Yeah. So if you want me to tell you about like large families, coming from large families, the effects of it, that's why when God was choosing, he chose a man and a woman to build a family, not like having a million women, because that causes a lot of things. It causes, first of all, it causes there is no way you're going to love people the same. Like, there is a way people lie and be like, I love my children this, I love my wife's the same. No, there is someone you surely love better than the other, and that brings what is it called, separation, jealousy. Yeah, it does that. And I'm telling you, from where I come from, that's what has happened. My aunt was killed out of jealousy because he was loved so much by the dad, because of her being the last born of this whole generation of children and this generation of women. Finally, she was the last born from her, because my grandmother was the 15th woman. So because they knew the dad loved her, he had given her the pharmacy of the town. It was so huge, and she was going to like inherit a lot of things. And then that's why they poisoned her. But I have to like speak that on another storytelling time, because today we're just like talking about that family of the fisherman and the witch. I should have actually named the the title The Fisherman and the Witch, and then story time. But it is what it is. Children got killed because of witchcraft, and that should give you a sign to come out of witchcraft, give your life to Christ. Then stop having bad hearts. Before the Lord meets you where you are to save you, change your heart. Learn to love others. Learn to let go of things. If someone is fighting for something, yes, a witch. If someone is fighting for something, let them take it. If it's not worth life, if you see that it's going to endanger somebody, it's putting your family in danger, let go of it. You could always work hard and like put it back, but you cannot bring back a life that's taken. So yeah, that was my story time. I'm gonna leave you guys and go and prepare. I was like writing something, so, and this idea came to me of like storytelling. That's why like it's gonna be part of the series, because this channel has started afresh, but it's gonna have so many series. Like we are going to have series and series and series of things. Now this is just storytelling. Is gonna be a lot of series, because it's gonna be every night. Ooh. Yes, it's gonna be every night, and only the times when I am very busy, because those times happen, then we won't tell stories. But I'm not a witch, I'm a child of God. But thanks for subscribing. Whew, you guys, let me go to bed. That's the story today. You can always like, if you miss the stories, they'll anyway be uploaded. The app that I was trying to use to restream so I could like stretch and then let the live go on so that people can like stretch, it did not work. So I'm gonna have to try that again. See you guys. I love you. Have a wonderful night. Comment down below what your story is if you feel like sharing it in the comment. If not, that's okay, but I'm coming back with stories every night, so I'll probably leave the next story up so you guys can like, yeah. I'll see you guys in the next one. And their lives that are going to be anyway stretching. We are bringing stretching back, but just dress decently. All right, see you guys.